Well, after reviewing Dragon Ball Evolution, I was a lot more like, hey, that's literally the worst movie ever made. Like, it's a bastardization of everything that I hold dear. And it's like, Jason 5 doesn't seem that bad compared to Dragon Ball Evolution and Avatar, because those movies suck. They pumped out a new Jason movie like every year in the 80s. There's literally like 10 movies in 10 years, and like only like half of them are good. Like, I don't know how you mess up a Jason movie. All you gotta do is get like some cool kids, some cool kills, and some cool visuals, and you have a Jason movie. It's not like you have to make a new Citizen Kane every year. It's just stylistic and gratuitous. Like, have some fun with it. This movie's not fun. It's shitty, dude. It's super sleazy. The director was like super Cinemaxy and not cool, and like I don't know why they couldn't have just gotten the guy who directed part 4 to do part 5. And like I don't know what's up with this movie. They're like, hey, let's take the worst part of part 4 and make a whole movie about it. And that's Jason, and that's fucking Tommy Jarvis. Like they made a whole movie about him. And in this movie, and like it starts off where he is Corey Feldman. Everybody thinks, oh, it's gonna be Corey Feldman, and he's like walking through the woods and stuff, and it's awesome. And he sees Jason's fucking grave there, and these dudes are digging him up. Like, let's dig up Jason. Let's dig him up. Let's dig up. So they dig his ass up literally, and Jason comes back to life. And Tommy's like, oh my god, and fucking the dude kills him. He's buried with his mask and his machete, apparently, because that's how they do it. Fucking comes after Tommy Jarvis, and he's in the woods looking at him and like slashes his face off, but it's just a dream. Apparently the original beginning of this movie picks up right where part 4 ends up, and Tommy Jarvis is at the hospital, and he's wandering through, and he's like beating up all these freaking doctors and orderlies' asses trying to get to Jason. And he gets to Jason in the morgue, and Jason's body is on a slab, and he rises up and kills Tommy, and it's all badass. Of course that doesn't happen. We get this stupid ass cutscene, and then there's fucking Tommy all old and shaky, and it's like a totally different guy. And they're like, what happened to Corey Feldman? Like, where'd he go? Also, the fucking cover of this fucking movie is so weird. Like, this mask that he has in the cover of the movie isn't the same as the mask. It's not even in the movie. It's like, what is this cover doing? Like, why is this here? Like, this movie's just a jumble of bullshit. Part 6 is way better. Anyway, like Tommy Jarvis is like traumatized and like horribly hypnotized that all this shit that happened in part 4, and it's like 5 years ago, and he's still pissy. Another thing, Trish Jarvis isn't in this movie at all, dude. I'm like, well, they should have made a movie about Trish, dude. Part 5 should have been just Trish and Tommy, mostly Trish, and like Jason shows up again, and Trish beats his ass again. Like, she smashed the TV over his head a second time. Like, that would have been some fucking money. But of course, they focus on psycho-ass Tommy Jarvis, and they try to make it a mystery. Like, did Tommy do it? Did he? Is he killing it? And just like, that makes no sense at all. Whatever. So, whatever. He's at this mental institution camp thing with all these other kids, and they're all crazy, and like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna fit in well here, and the orderlies are all sleazy and just not cool, and like, he's just like, everything sucks, and he's got his masks, and like, he's freaking in there, and you meet Reggie the Reckless, and like, he's cool, like, he's the heart and soul of this movie. Like, they fucking had the first 3 fucking Friday the 13th be really serious and hardcore, and you started adding a bunch of kids and shit to these movies. Like, part 4 had young Tommy Jarvis, and part 5 has Reggie the Reckless. Like, why would you add a kid to a serial killer movie? Whatever, they did it though. He's there. A bunch of crazy ass kids are at this camp, and I mean that very respectfully. The plot picks up when there's this one really, really annoying kid who's got like a pocket full of candy bars and just chocolate all over his face, like just weird, obviously. And he's wandering around trying to make friends, but nobody wants to fuck with him because he's a weirdo. And these chicks are doing laundry, and he gets chocolate all over the fucking blankets. And like, thanks, dude. That's awesome. And they're like, fuck off, dude. So that sucks. And I think his name's Joey. Joey the loser, dude. And like, he goes over to the dude chopping wood furiously chopping that shit. And he's like, I want to help you chop some wood. And the dude's like, fuck off. I don't want your help. And the dude's like, come on, let me help you out, Vic. The dude's name is Vic, and he's chopping wood. And like, one thing leads to another, and the dude gets a freaking axe buried into his freaking back, and Joey gets chopped up by fucking Vic, and everyone's like freaking out and crying and screaming and shit. And it's like, well, until you get for bothering somebody and they tell you to leave them alone. Like, if somebody tells you to leave them alone, just fucking leave them alone, dude. Like, goddamn. The dude actually gets arrested and taken away, and that whole thing is just wrapped up right there. Like, the dude gets killed on the premises, And the dude fucking gets arrested and justice is served, and fucking that's a random ass thing. The paramedics show up, and one of the dudes is really, really upset that this kid has been killed, and like just really, really upset about it. It's because like the fucking dude is Jason. He's the Jason in this movie. I'm not even gonna tell you the plot. Like I'm not gonna explain the plot because it's like you've seen the movie. I'm gonna talk about the plot. It's like the dude is Jason because he sees his kid get killed, but at the same time he was a fucking deadbeat dad. Like he let his kid go from foster home to foster home, hasn't raised the fucking kid, but once he sees his ass dead, he decides to go on a killing spree, a justifiable killing spree. Like I mean, at least when Pamela Voorhees went on a killing spree, is because fucking her son was actually her son. Like that was actually her baby. Like this fucking paramedic dude is a douchebag. Even though he gains my respect by the end of the movie, like his whole movie is just built on ass and sticks. It's like it doesn't hold up. After that, like the dude goes on like a killing spree, and this movie is kind of a weird throwback to the previous 4 movies, but also kind of a weird, shitty, not good movie at the same time. It's like this movie had a lot of factors that could have made it good, but each factor is fucking derailed. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens in previous movies and it's just not done to the same effect. Like after like the first slew of kills happen, it's all like off camera, really basic ass kills, and like after the cool stuff that happened in part 4, you can't just show a random knife going swoosh past the camera and someone go like this and then be like, oh, they're dead, and do that over and over. Like this movie is like the most Tommy is like a legit psycho in this movie. He keeps having visions of Jason, and like if they didn't add these random visions of Jason in the middle of the movie, you'd have no idea you were watching a Jason movie because it's so just some dry ass 80s melodrama. They're like, oh shit, why did that guy have a vision of Jason? This is part 5? Like, yep. And like, so whenever he sees Jason, sometimes he pops some medicine, and like fucking at breakfast, he's having breakfast, and the one dude gets in his face, starts picking on him, and starts touching on him and shit, and fucking Tommy does what we'd all do and puts this motherfucker through a table and starts beating his ass, and everyone's just like, get it. Oh yeah, there's this like asshole southern family that is the most annoying part of this movie. Like that's what I remember the most about part 5 is this family, annoying ass family, the chick and the dude, and like they're part of the sleaze of this movie, and they make it so they're the absolute opposite of everything you want to see. And like even when they die, like you don't feel happy or excited, you just feel relieved that you don't have to deal with these fucking characters anymore because they're so annoying. Because there's this dude and he's like doing coke, and he's got that weird ass 70s mustache in the 80s, and like he's dating this sleazy ass broad, and she's flashing her boobs at herself in the mirror, and like he's doing coke, and he's like, whoa, and he's like, really, did you go whoa after you did coke? That's awesome. And then Jason kills him, and like that's awesome. And then the chick comes out, and she's like, where are you, Tom, or whatever that dude's name was. Can I remember his name? I can't remember it, I'm sorry. And then like she sees there's the fucking dude there with the axe, and she's like, oh shit, and she gets an axe in her chest for her trouble, and it just sticks out, and it's like 2 just basic ass kills for 2 random ass characters. Like it makes you don't give a shit about it at all. Tommy freaks out again and sees Jason. They just had to shovel these Jason scenes in there just to keep it going. And also the police dude is saying like Jason did these murders. For some reason, he just pulls that name out of his ass, and like the mayor's like, there is no Jason, it's a super urban legend. I don't know why the mayor doesn't believe him. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why don't you stay at Crystal Lake for a fucking few nights, and you tell me what the fuck happens? Since nobody wants to believe that Jason's the fucking thing, like, have people stay at Camp Crystal Lake for a fucking few days and see if they make it out of there, and see if it's like, hey, this is the best day ever. And they're doing it and doing it and doing it well. And the dude's like, I need to go take a poop in the woods real quick, just fucking go, just stay here for a minute. And she's like, alright, babe. And he's like, ooh, thank God. I need to go find a really, really big leaf to wipe my butt with. So just stay here. You can like start popping yourself until I come back. I'll finish you off. And she's like, all right. So she's popping herself off, and the dude comes out of nowhere with some hedge clippers and just fucking hedge clips her freaking head off. His hedge clips her right to death. And like, that sucks. All she's trying to do is get off. That sucks. And like the dude comes back randomly, and he has one of the worst deaths in the entire Friday the 13th series. Is he backs up against a tree, and someone swings a belt around the tree and just squeezes his head to death with a belt thing. And I'm like, really? That's a really specific circumstance to just be like, I have a belt here and hedge clippers. Oh God. Anyway, like, there's a fucking belt around his head, and his head fucking squeezes out or some shit. I'm like, that's a very lame death. I'm like, that's what you came up with? Like, you can tell Tom Savini was not on this movie. Probably one of the best parts of this movie actually is when Reggie the Reckless goes to see his brother Demon, and like they're hanging out in a van, and like fucking the dude's super fucking cool, and he's got this fucking gorgeous ass girlfriend, and they're just chilling out. He's like, "Do you want some tacos? You want some enchiladas? You want some sushi? What do you want, little man? You want some of this beer?" He's like, "Hell yeah!" He's like, "You can't have that beer." And like it's fucking awesome. Like, that's probably one of the most endearing parts of this movie and shit, because Reggie's cool, and like fucking his brother's cooler. And like Pam's there, and he's like, "Damn, Pam, what's up?" And like all that, and they're smoking joints and shit. And then like Tommy gets into some shit with this fucking dude, and like the fucking guy's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass, Tommy," and Tommy beats his ass. All this trouble, and then runs off. And then like Pam's like, "We gotta go, Reggie," and Reggie's like, "Oh," so they leave, and then like fucking Demon is fucking in the porta potty taking a massive crap because he's been eating burritos and sushi all freaking night and drinking tequila, and like that's how you gotta do it, you know. And like she's like, his girlfriend's there shaking the thing, and just like, and then they start singing to each other. It's just like, "Ooh baby, ooh baby." I have no idea why they're doing that, but they do that shit for like a good 2 minutes, just back and forth. Like, one thing I want is when I'm taking a shit, I want my girlfriend to be outside the door singing "Ooh baby" to me, well, to cover the noise of me fucking squeezing them off. I'd be really embarrassed, but maybe he's singing because he's dropping deuces, and he's just like, "Holy shit, I need to cover the sound of these splashes." Because anyway, she fucking gets killed, and it's real sad because she was so badass, and they don't even show it. I'm like, God damn, they don't show anything in this fucking movie. It's just like, "Oh shit, I missed it. She's dead on the floor there." It's like, really? And then like a fucking metal spike starts smashing through the fucking thing. I'm like, where the fuck did you get a metal spike from? Like, and just like, of course, like, so Demon gets fucking cut, and he's freaking out, and he gets impaled while he's taking a poop in the fucking crapper. And I'm like, that's a good one. Like, that's this whole movie. This whole movie is summed up by that one scene, just fucking dying in the fucking crapper, because this movie is the shits. Hey, that's good. I'm really getting good at this fucking making videos thing. I've been riffing and wilding, dude. I don't have to look at the fucking paper anymore. Pam and Tommy come back, and they're looking for Gina and Martin, and they can't fucking find them. And all the fucking camp counselors are there. Just no, this isn't even at camp. All the psychopaths are at camp. Just like, where is everybody? And apparently the cook dude and the main house counselor guy are fucking missing, because of course they don't film any of that shit. They just fucking mention it because this movie sucked. The random Hick family get fucking killed because they really fucking deserve it, because they suck, and they're screaming and hollering, and that scene is so irritating because he's riding his motorcycle around and screaming, and the chick is fucking cooking food and being a bitch, and you're like, oh my god, like, I wish these characters would fucking die already. And then the one dude gets his fucking head chopped the fuck off, and you're like, good, and you see it rolling down the hill, and you're like, good. And the fucking chick is just like, God damn it, and she gets fucking stabbed in the face through the fucking window, and she's squeezing tomatoes and shit, and you're like, thank you. Fucking thank you. Like, stuttering Stanley is chilling with his lady Fran, and he's trying to make the moves, but he doesn't know what to do. And like, he's like, fucking, they're watching a scary movie. That's not even a scary movie. And like, what he should do is the thing where you're like, yawn, and put your arm around her and do that, and because that shit always works. But he's just like, I fucking wanna, and he fucking fucks it up, and she starts laughing at him, and he gets fucking pissed. So she's like, fuck off, dude. And he's like, alright, I will fuck off. And like, he fucks off, and Jason comes and kills his ass. And I'm like, god damn, dude, that sucks. Fucking better luck next time, dude. The one chick is like gratuitously showing her boobs, and she's like, I just need to see my boobs. Like, I need to look at my boobs in the mirror. Like, in the mirror. Like, that exact same shot happens earlier in the movie, but they do it again. And then she gets in the fucking bed, and like, there's a freaking dead body in there, and she's freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, how the hell did Jason know to fucking kill the dude and put him in the top bunk bed? Like, there's so many rooms, like, fucking super lucky. So I wonder if this Jason has like powers, because he definitely is very much on point with that supernatural shit. And there's a chick doing the robot, and no, she's not doing the robot, she's popping and locking. Like, she's popping and locking and all that, and she's doing her fucking thing, and like, the song that's playing is fucking amazing. I might use that song in this fucking video as I'm talking shit. And like, she's doing the robot, and like, she's fucking having a good ass time. Like, Jason like sneaks up to her and just fucking grabs her and fucking kills her like it's no big thing. Like, he sneaks right the fuck up to her, and I'm like, god damn, you need to turn your fucking music down. After this, the movie definitely picks up, because Reggie the Reckless wakes up and everybody's fucking dead. They're, what the hell? Tommy's the killer, obviously. I don't know how the hell Jason knew to put all the bodies in Tommy's room, because what the hell would this paramedic dude know about Tommy Jarvis that like I don't, it just movie makes no freaking sense at all. But whatever. So he runs downstairs and Pam's there and she's like, "What's going on, dude?" And Pam's like, "There's dead bodies in there." And like she was like, "What?" So she goes upstairs and there's a bunch of dead bodies in there and they run the fuck downstairs and Jason shows up and this is the first time you see Jason and it's cool Jason. He's wearing the blue fucking mask thing. And like I will say this about this fucking movie. The movie sucks, but all the parts with Jason, this Jason are badass, dude. Like he does not get enough credit. Like if the movie was better, that Jason would be more renowned because he's my favorite Jason because he's not like a supernatural killer. He's just a pissed off dude in a fucking mask and like the shit he does due to his rage is fucking like mwah. Like it's awesome. Like I don't know what it's just fucking to just randomly get triggered like that and just go on such a cool ass fucking killer bender, murder bender is respectable. Not respectable, but like in terms of fake movie killers like this, like I don't know, like they definitely could have ran with this concept a little bit more, but they fucking don't. So anyway, Jason's here and he's just fucking shit up and like he just walks super slow. It's a very human Jason. I mean, I guess all the other Jasons were human up until this movie. After that, he was a fucking zombie. But like this one's pretty cool because like he's damageable and like he's got like fucking he's chasing this chick and there's dead bodies all over the place and I'm like how the hell is he catching up to fucking Pam if she's running and he's just walking, dude? Like any normal person would just run, like you jog after her, but no, he's just right there, just teleporting and shit. And like fucking Pam is freaking the fuck out, dude. Like I'm like, dude, Pam, calm down. You just fucking calm down and just keep moving, dude. And she's like, ah. So anyway, like fucking Jason's about to kill her, and fucking Reggie the fucking Reckless shows up and riding a goddamn tractor thing, and just like really, like he bursts that shit through the wall and like hits Jason with it. I'm like, that's the fakest fucking shit I've ever seen. Like they would never let this kid ride the fucking tractor. They would never show the kid where the kitties are, and like he wouldn't just go to the bar. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking wait until fucking the last minute and burst through and just fucking hit Jason with this thing. And like he hits Jason with this thing and Jason's like, oh, and he's dead. And they're just like, it's a happy ending. But then he grabs the fucking leg and it's just like, oh shit. And like they start running off. And like probably the best part of this fucking movie that made me want to review it actually is the part where Jason gets hit and he's fucking like hits by the tractor and he's on the ground and then he gets up and like he looks at the fucking blood on his hand. He's just like, like you could fucking just tell that he is fucking pissed. And I'm like, ooh, this is fucking good. Like I didn't fucking never noticed that part before, but I'm like, this is actually pretty compelling stuff. And like he's just fucking making it towards the fucking barn, and he's in the barn looking like a fucking badass and shit. And he's like, where is Pam? And like fucking she bursts out with a chainsaw. It's like a chainsaw battle, even though she doesn't rev it, she doesn't pull it, she just bursts out and it's just on. I'm like, all right, I'll forgive you. And like he's like, and she's about to chainsaw his ass, and he's just like fucking bleeding and cut, but he's still ready to fucking kill some motherfuckers. So I'm like, I like that he's in pain, obviously, but he's still just ready to get that shit done, dude. So I'm like, fuck yeah. And the chainsaw stops and he's just like, and he's about to kill some motherfuckers. And then Tommy fucking shows up and I'm like, where the fuck has Tommy been this whole fucking time? I completely forgot about him. I'm like, wait a second, I thought Jason was Tommy. Like, Tommy's not Jason? Like, who the fuck is Jason then? Everybody's just like, wait, who the fuck? Whoa. And the whole thing is real confusing. But like, Tommy's like, I'm here. And Jason's like, I don't really know who the fuck you are, but I'll kill you. So he goes back and like fucking slashes the fuck out of Tommy. Tommy doesn't do a goddamn thing. Like once again, Tommy just shows up at the end and just reaps the benefits of somebody else's hard work, because it's pretty much like Pam and fucking Reggie who fucking defeat Tommy, like Jason. Tommy just gets the last hit in, just like the last movie. Like fucking Tommy didn't kill Jason, he's got the last hit in after Tracy did all the work. Like if it was any other circumstances, Tommy would have been fucking dead twice. But anyway, one thing leads to another, and Jason falls off this fucking thing. Oh yeah, and like that's kind of like part 3, because part 3 he's at a bar and he falls off of it and he's supposed to die but he doesn't. This one he falls off the thing onto a fucking bed of spikes, and like he's like spiked like a motherfucker. And they show the dude's face and it's like, who is that? And it's like, oh, it's the fucking paramedic dude from the beginning. Like they couldn't have put him more in the movie more. They just have a random fat kid with chocolate bars get killed, and then a random paramedic see the body and then randomly decide to kill everybody who's randomly there, even though the guy who killed his son that he didn't raise is in jail. You're gonna kill everybody else who had nothing to do with it? Yeah, cool. So that's fucking part 5. Like fucking like that's the whole Jason of this movie. It's like 5 minutes of Jason. That's the most badass part. And then the ending sucks because it's pretty much the same. It's like one scene. I mean, like fucking, Pam is at the hospital. Like they need to check on Tommy, even though she was the one who's been stalked and chased all fucking night. Tommy was there for 5 minutes. I need to check on Tommy, like because he's hurt. And like fucking Tommy's there, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna stab you with this knife. Oh, I'm super crazy." And it was like, "What the fuck?" So Tommy is the killer, and I'm like, "No," and it's a fucking dream. So I'm like, "Oh, that was a dream." Like, so Tommy's not the killer. And you're like, "Yeah." And then he sees Jason again. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm terrified of Jason." "Oh wait, no, I'm not. I love Jason. I am Jason." So he apparently fucking has Jason's fucking blue mask, and he's just like, "Oh, this is awesome." And then he hears Pam coming. And he's like, "Pam's here," and like he's got the mask on. He's about to kill Pam, and that's the end. So it's just like, you just did that. Like you literally just did that a second ago. Like you literally just had Tommy kill Pam a second ago, and that be a dream. But then they had it be a real thing, and then they had not that be a real thing either. So they just had a double dream sequence be the ending of part 5, and like yeah. Like, it sucks. It's like a shitty-ass movie. Like, it really, really is not good. Like, it sucks because part 4 is really good, and part 6 is really good, but part 5 is just fucking dog shit. I feel like if they would have expanded on the guy who was Jason, maybe if they would have had him be in it a little bit more, or have, like, just better stick with the characters a little bit more instead of randomly introducing annoying characters that just get killed in 2 seconds. Like, they could have had characters they should have just made part 4 again. Like, we should have made part 4 again. Like, get Crispin Glover a second time, get Trish again, get the dog to jump out the window again. Copy the good stuff. Don't copy the bullshit stuff like the barn. Like, oh, there's a barn in here. Like, really, a barn? Like, thanks. So anyway, yeah, part 5 is the worst Jason movie they've made until they made part 7 or 8 or 9. Or fucking Jason X. Actually, this is kind of the first movie of Jason that sucks. Like, they made one more that was good, and I mean, part 6 is really good. And people like Jason Takes Manhattan a lot. I liked it a lot when I was a kid, but like, I don't know, it just goes up and down. I'd say 4, and then part 6 and 7 is all right, and then part 8. And Jason Goes to Hell gave me nightmares. Because I saw that shit when I was very young, and I know what the fuck I was seeing. All I know is some dude is eating some man's heart. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, I recommend that if you're gonna make a Jason movie, just make it cool and like make it look good and make the deaths be cool, because it's not exactly rocket science. But apparently it's really easy to fuck up because this movie is a giant plate of steaming, burning dog shit. And I recommend if you have some time to kill, you don't watch this movie because it sucks. And I'm Garrett Faber, and that's it.